Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me very good, but everyone's spinning a little bit. um, people should really focus on themselves and really figure out who they want to be. Because nothing matters unless you really, like, you envision yourself somewhere else, but you don't focus on the current moment. The sensation of something you don't already have, and you already have it. Like you desire companionship, you desire love, you desire like wealth, you desire connections, and that's good and all, but like everyone has like an individual experience, a reason for living, and you have to find what that reason is. And that's what matters. Because focusing on what's right in front of you is everything. Like, you could live your best life ever just simply living on a farm. Like a farmer, a simple farmer, he is happy at what he does. He loves everything that he's done in his life. And versus like a businessman. A businessman has all the money in the world, he can do whatever he wants, and he's miserable. He works at a desk job, whatever. It's the simple ideologies of like you work so hard. Well, the farmer works so much hard, but he's so successful in what he does and so happy versus the businessman who works not as much but works twice as hard to get somewhere, but he's not happy. It's crazy to me to think how you work so little but so much, and also to really think about like you never will ever have a choice in your life. To picking a career, to picking a anything. You know why? It's because life chooses it for you. You honestly have a choice in how you react to things, to doing things in certain moments by moments, but your path has already been carved out not by some really big smart power. Yes, it is, but by you. By you. Never forget that. So you don't have no single choice. You never will. Because you already decide when you came here, in this life, the next life, or any life, you already decided your life, buddy. So nobody has a choice in what you say, what you do, but you already figure out what you want to do. And it's gonna walk that path. And you're like, well, I'm not living my most fun timeline, or I'm not happy where I am, or how do I know what I'm supposed to be doing? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Because eventually this comes to you. And this like in this life it's difficult. I will say that because the little things a little backwards. But for me, I'm a hero. For when I first kind of I've always loved heroing. I love it. It's the best job in the world. I get paid so much money. I get loved. I get cared. But in the beginning of like, you're gonna get hated because you're changing the world for the better. And let's say you're born into the world like with heroes and villains or whatever, then you're going against other heroes to be the ultimate hero. So it's like still like it's you versus you. That's all it is. But ultimately, in the beginning, it's going to be hard, but that's the best part. And I want you to know that why it's the best part, because the beginning is the hardest point, where you feel like you want to give up of why you're doing this, or how did this happen in my situation. Trust me, I understand very deeply, more than others, more than probably you even know. And it touches my heart because it's true. The beginning is so hard. But as soon as you start building up momentum, you carve out your own path and you do it. You build friends, you build relationships, you build so much more because you're such a better person. It's so much easier in the beginning. You know why it's so easy to do in the beginning? Because you're not dealing with as much adversity. You're not dealing with a lot of things that are attacking you in the current moment. But then, like I said, there's levels. There's levels to everything, to the systems. And things are always preparing you for something. God will not put you against something that you could not win. You're put at something where you could easily beat it, like Dark Souls. You can honestly defy the odds with everything you do. And that's what you need to do. Raise an iron fist to the sky, to the sun, to the moon, to the stars above, to the galaxy, to all your ancestors, to everyone, even all the versions of yourself, and say out loud that I got this, I can do this, and no one can stop me, and there is no one in my way, and I believe in myself. And that's what it is. Say everything and speak it out loud. Speak it as it's already been done. That's the key to life. The key to existence. The key to reality. If you speak it and you feel it and you know it, boom. Naruto wanted to become Hokage. Said it out loud. Goku wanted to be one of the strongest people in the universe. He said it out loud. Boom. Luffy said he wanted to be king of the pirates. Said it out loud. Boom. Every single person has said it out loud and they've accomplished it. And you'd be like, well, my dreams are unreasonable, or they're never gonna happen. Some people are like, oh, I want to be a Super Saiyan. Buddy, you're gonna become a Super Saiyan. You want to become a Hokage, you want to become strongest, you want to get anything, done. You want to know why you can do it? Because I've done it already for you. I've carved a path for everyone. I've done so much for the world, and people know it, and some people don't know it, and that's the best part, because I carved a path for people to walk. It's like paths you see in a road, not like asphalt, but like stone paths, dirt path, like somewhere you're going hiking. Someone had to go through that brush. Someone had to go through that. And they didn't know what was on the other side, but they still did it. And many people follow in their footsteps. Figure out who you are before they figure out who you are. Because people will try to change your mentality. Find love, find companionship, and find friends. And if you don't, I'm going to tell you something that's worse than death. Fate's worse than death, and that's revenge. Revenge is a road that no one should ever go down. And you'd be like, well, how would you know? Because I've lived it, and I understand everyone and everything. I love repeating lessons over and over again because they're so fun. Because when you know something to absolute completion, to absolute mastery, you're going to keep doing it over and over again because you learn different things about the lesson. Something new. You retain all the knowledge. It's like you prestige something, you complete it, you do it over again, you back at level 1, but you get like an XP boost, and you get like all the knowledge back, but you also get more knowledge. So just keep doing the lesson over and over again until you just completely master it. That's what it means to be smart. That's what it means to be wise. That's what it means to be strong. So that's why when you pass away and you go to another life, you're back at level 1, and you keep building up your body, keep building up your mind. You're like, what's the point? Bro, you get new stuff, you get new powers, you get new things, bro, and then you're building your angelic body. You're building your actual true spirit, your actual thing that can also hold your physical form, which is not going to be really your physical form anymore. At that point, it's going to be like some spiritual astral form, something that's going to be even better than that, bigger than that. And bro, power was never going to work. You're always going to, like, they're always going to lose. You have to actually earn your power. And that's why people that go to the gym, people that go and study, like, courses, they study different things. That's their individual skill, yes, but everybody and anybody can learn what you just learned. Okay, greatest example is a doctor can teach a carpenter, and a carpenter can teach a doctor. A doctor can be like, okay, this is how you do CPR. This is what you need to do. This is the situation. This is the blood type. This is it's the medication. This is what you do when they're having like a heart attack. They can teach them how to do open heart surgery, while a carpenter can teach this person how to use woodworking. The only reason that when you complete a master skill, so you can pass it on to somebody, and then they can pass on the skill to you, because you learn something new from them, and then you ultimately become a jack of all trades, and then you can't be into a category where people cannot be categorized. You cannot be put in any place, which is ludicrously impossible. That's not how the world works. That's how it's never going to work. That's what makes people so special, because of their individual skill, their individual knowledge and awareness, which is built by their own individual soul and spirit that's been created by them, that's been created by the divine, by the certain reasons of why they exist into this physical plane of existence, of why their physical body cannot uphold their consciousness, where their mind has been so lingering on the past, where in reality their future self has already been planned out, the present self, where you previously thought you failed, but in reality you passed on your genetics to the future generation of who you are through your ancestors, and your ancestors have planned for you to break the curses, to break all these things that really were meant for you to excel into, ascend into godhood, to ascend into your true authentic self, to honestly ascend in who you're meant to be. You learn different things at certain times, at different levels, at certain places in your life, at certain places you'll meet certain people at certain times. You cannot pick anything in your life. You'll never ever have a choice in what you will do, because it's already been planned out by you, by someone else that's already a version of yourself, even if you don't like that course fence, okay? Let's say you don't like that course fence. Let's say you don't like that timeline. You can just quantum leap into another timeline, which a lot of people here will get deja vu. That's what we call deja vu is. Because you're like, oh, I remember this, or, I do it all the time. If you don't like that certain timeline, you can quantum leap into your highest timeline, to that version of yourself, the perfect time where it did work out. You can ultimately control time through the existence of the individual self. And you know why it's that way? Because of the people up there have helped me, which then I helped you, which then you get my genetic code. Because when I came here, when everybody else comes here, you all inherently share the same knowledge, the same awareness as they do, and you're all connected. Everybody is connected. Not a single person is individual. There's individual person, individual soul, yes, but you're all connected into this World Wide Web, into each other. So you're all individually special, but then at the same time you're not, because you can all obtain the same thing, but you can't really obtain the same thing because you're all different, and there's all different forms of how you learn something, how you do something at certain different times. If you try to teach somebody this way, it's not going to work. Versus someone, okay, let's say you're book smart, or if you're head smart, or if you're like you physically smart, you can pick it up in three different ways. Sometimes you do it yourself. Some people are visual learners, like some people are where you do learn by book, or some people do it physically. You learn things at a different rate. You cannot put anybody in the same category, and there never ever will be. You cannot learn anything and everything in one past life, previous life, future life. You learn things assigned to you at that certain time of your life that you wish to choose and to learn at that certain time. And then you come back to do it over again to learn a different experience with so you can be able to do it again. That's the point of life. That's the point of reality, because you can learn everything and do everything a gazillion times because it's so fun. And you learn different things at certain times. And that's why when I think about that, I think about when you're going on a roller coaster. Life is a roller coaster of emotions, a roller coaster of different things. But let's say you're going on, say, an actual roller coaster where it's going like ups and downs, it twists and twirls, and it goes upside down or whatever. That's how life is. But also because majorly, the first time you go on the ride is going to be different for the second time versus the third, the fourth, fifth. Versus, okay, let's say you leave the park and then you come back the next day, or you come back like a year later, the experience is going to be completely different. And you're going to remember the first time you've ever done it, but also the repetition of you doing over and over again builds more confidence in yourself and builds more eagerness in what you could do next, and building that honestly, that pride into who you are and inner knowing, not this egotistical thing of like who you think you are. Because the simple quote I could say is from The Last Airbender. Iroh said is that you have to look with, it was Zuko said, is that you have to look within yourself. You have to look within yourself to save yourself from your other self. Only then your true self will reveal itself, which is the biggest truth in life. You don't know who you are until you've absolutely been pushed to the absolute limits of your existence. You don't know what you're capable of until you've been pushed. So that's what makes me so special, because I'm always been pushed, and that's what always makes me so great, because I can never fail. I've never failed. I'm not gonna say I've never failed, but you know what I mean. Like, if you don't give up, you never lose. Because think about this perfectly. All right, I'll give you like a game of chess or a simple fighting game like Mortal Kombat or a game of basketball. Okay, let's say you're winning. He's winning every single game over and over and over again, and you don't give up. It's not a loss. It's a loss when somebody gives up. So let's say he gets tired of rematching it over again. He's the loser. You see the ironic part? And as soon as you tell him he's a loser, he loses it or he accepts it because he gave up. That's how it is. See, there's winners, there's losers, but you simultaneously can't lose, but you simultaneously can't win, because winning is losing, but losing is winning, because you honestly, you're always going to win, because you're always learning something about others and about yourself. And that's very important to who you are. And I absolutely had a blast speaking with you. And I very much hope that you guys hear what I said and take it in. I want you guys to have a good time.